Somewhere out there is someone taking home the exact same paycheck you are. They live in the same city, have the same number of zeros in their bank account, and the exact same job title. But 15 years from now, one of you is going to permanently clock out of work a decade earlier than the other. And here's the scary part. Absolutely nothing on your banking app will ever tell you which one of you it is. Let me introduce you to Jamie and Jade. 3 years into her career, Jamie got a promotion. She moved to a nicer apartment, financed a brand new car, and stopped looking at the price tags at the grocery store. It's what most of us would do. Jade, on the other hand, never got a promotion. In 30 years, he drove a paid-off sedan with a broken cup holder. Yet Jade retired 13 years ahead of Jamie. This isn't a video about penny pinching until you're miserable. It's about who actually gets to decide when you stop working. I've spent an unreasonable amount of time staring at spreadsheets trying to figure out why hardworking, high-earning Americans stay stuck in the rat race. And it comes down to 4 specific numbers. 3 of them you've probably heard of but never tracked. The 4th one, you've probably never seen it written down at all. Grab a pen because we're breaking down the 4 numbers that dictate the rest of your working life. Number 1, your savings rate. Number 1 is your savings rate. I'm not talking about how much money you save in raw dollars. I'm talking about what percentage of your take-home pay you actually keep. Can you answer that right now, off the top of your head? Most people can't. And honestly, it's not a lack of discipline, it's a lack of visibility. Your bank app shows a balance. Your pay stub shows gross income, net income, and taxes, but nowhere does a screen pop up and say, "Congratulations, your savings rate is 12%. We memorize our credit scores because banks care about them, but almost nobody knows the one number that dictates their own freedom. Right now, the average American saves under 3% of their take-home pay. That's a rate that keeps you on the treadmill until you're 75. But here's why the percentage matters infinitely more than your salary. If you save 10% of your take-home pay, you are about 50 years away from financial independence. Save 20% and it drops to 37 years. Save 50% and you cross the finish line in under 20 years. Notice what's missing there. Dollar signs. There's no income requirement in that math. You and someone earning 4 times your salary will cross the finish line on the exact same day if you save the same percentage. Saving more does 2 jobs at once. It grows your investment pile and it shrinks the target amount you need to live on. Number 2, your annual spending. This brings us to number 2, and this is the one that completely trapped Jamie. Your annual spending. Watch what happens when Jamie gets that raise. Her paycheck goes up, so her spending rises to meet it. It's called lifestyle creep, and it is the most normal human behavior on earth. But here's what nobody warned her about. Her finish line just moved. Your retirement target isn't a random $1,000,000 figure. It is roughly 25 times whatever your life costs. So if you make your life cost more, the target literally walks away from you while you're running toward it. When Jamie got her raise and increased her spending, her target went up so much that she actually became 3 years poorer. Her bank balance climbed every single month, but the finish line was moving faster than she was running. Jade never got a raise, but he cut $700 a month from his spending. Cutting $700 a month beat Jamie's shiny raise. Every dollar of permanent monthly spending, like a $15 streaming bundle or a $600 car payment, needs massive amounts of capital behind it to sustain it forever. That $15 Netflix bill, it requires $4,500 of invested capital to pay for itself indefinitely. The average new car payment requires over $200,000 in capital. And if you want to retire before 65, your spending dictates your health insurance premiums through the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Earn just $1 over the income cliff, and your premiums can skyrocket, effectively taxing you for having a good year. Number 2 isn't just a budget, it's the anchor holding your ship in the harbor. Number 3, your real return. Now, let's introduce a third character. Let's call her Grace. Grace did everything Jade did. She kept her spending low, she saved the exact same percentage, and she never missed a deposit. If you looked at their budgets, they were identical twins. Yet, Grace retired 8 years after Jade. Why? Because of number 3, your real return. This is what's left of your investment growth after inflation, taxes, fees, and panic. Grace hired a financial advisor who charged a modest 1% advisory fee. 1% sounds like a rounding error. It sounds perfectly reasonable. But that 1% fee is the single most expensive financial decision she ever made. Over decades, that 1% eats up nearly a quarter of all your potential wealth. Nobody would sign a contract that says, "I agree to give you 25% of my lifetime earnings," but they gladly sign one that says 1% fee. It's the exact same contract. Combine that with the few years where the market got scary, Grace panicked, moved her investments to cash, and missed the rebound. Nobody wakes up on a Tuesday and decides to lose a decade of wealth. They just say, "I'm going to move to cash until things settle down." By year 25, Grace was behind Jade by over $300,000. Same savings rate, same discipline. 8 years of her life vanished because of fees and bad timing. You cannot afford to ignore your real return. Number 4, your multiple. This brings us to the final metric, the one number to rule them all. Number 4, your multiple. Take your total net worth and divide it by your annual spending. That's it. That is your multiple. Having $500,000 means absolutely nothing on its own. $500,000 against $40,000 of annual spending is a multiple of 12.5. You are halfway to freedom. But $500,000 against $110,000 of spending is a multiple of 4.5. You barely have your shoes tied. Your net worth is just a number. Your multiple is a countdown. Do this with me right now. Whatever is sitting in your investment accounts, divided by what a year of your life costs, not what you earn, what you spend. The famous 4% rule says you need a multiple of 25 to retire. But if you are planning to retire early, say at 45 instead of 65, you aren't planning for a 30-year retirement. You're planning for a 50-year retirement. Research shows you actually need a multiple closer to 29 or 30 to survive that long without running out of money. This is the number Jamie never looked at. She watched her account balance go up every year, assuming she was winning, but her multiple barely moved because her spending kept rising. She had the illusion of progress. The reality check and call to action. Let me leave you with one final sobering statistic. Most workers say they expect to retire at 65, but the data shows the median retirement age is actually 62. And nearly half of all retirees left the workforce earlier than they had planned. Why? It wasn't because they were sipping piña coladas on a beach in Portugal. 4 in 10 were forced out because of a health problem or disability. Another third were forced out because of company downsizing or corporate restructuring. Early retirement isn't always a choice. Sometimes it's a coin flip you've already been entered into. If your company reorganized this Thursday and you carried a box to your car, would it be a transition or a catastrophe? Jade would be fine. Grace would be fine. Jamie, doing everything society told her to do, would be in deep trouble. Your multiple tells you exactly how many years of your own life you actually own. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It matters how much time you've bought back. Figure out your multiple today. Keep your spending in check, watch your fees, and take control of your timeline. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe. Leave a comment below with your multiple if you're brave enough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.